Look, everyone hates analytics nerds, okay? A couple years ago, the number of obscure metrics just became too much. I mean, what the fuck is XWOBACON? So in response to these crazy esoteric acronyms, a response was made. But does he have the dog in him? Oh, Mike Trout has 9.28 wins above replacement and 96th percentile swing rate. Okay, whatever, dude. But does he have the dog in him? But what does that even mean? You see, a player with a dog in him is scrappy. They're always the first in the gym and the last one out. They lead by example. They have all the intangibles. David Eckstein is the ultimate example of the player that had the dog in him. Arguing if a player has the dog in him is amazing because it's completely irrefutable, because it's completely unquantifiable. But what if it weren't completely unquantifiable? Baseball Savant has this dashboard that gives an idea of a player's sabermetric performance. I'd imagine it's actually pretty interesting if you knew what all the metrics mean, but I've seen a woman naked before, so I don't know what any of them mean. In response, this image began making the rounds over the internet, along with the idea of a metric called X dog in him. Obviously this is a complete joke, but I hate fun, so I'm going to turn it into a real sabermetric. Now the first step if we want to create X dog in him is to make the base, which is dog in him. Actually, I lied. The first step is to establish what the acronym means. Look, a good backronym is the foundation of an effective sabermetric. I mean, look at XFIP versus Sierra, which both measure basically the same thing. XFIP sounds like a droid in Star Wars, but Sierra. Oh, Sierra. It's sleek, it's modern, it's sexy. It's like the hot guy from those Apple commercials. So here we go, I'm christening dog in him, or Delphic actions which grant incremental numeric help in Major League Baseball. So how does a player earn dog in him? Well, first of all, dog in him is a hitting metric. Pitchers aren't real baseball players, so they don't get to factor in. The biggest input to dog in him is clutch, which measures how a player hits in high leverage situations relative to their average performance. So if a guy is a 250 hitter but hits 300 in high leverage spots, they have high clutch. But if they're a 300 hitter normally that hits 275 in high leverage spots, they have a really shitty clutch. This is the biggest input because a guy that doesn't deliver when it matters most, the guy that's not coming up with the game on the line and giving you those big hits, cannot have the dog in them. The next input is UBR, which is a base running metric that measures non-stolen bases base running. So stuff like stretching a single into a double or going first to third, which is a real scrappy gym rat thing to do. After that is TTO percentage, which tracks how often a hitter puts the ball into play. A low TTO percentage is essential for high dog in him, just because someone that strikes out and walks a bunch is really boring to watch and nobody likes those hitters. A hitter with a dog in him also just wants to get in the box and hit, so the next input is pace, which just measures the average amount of time it takes for a hitter to step into the box between pitches. A guy that's out there adjusting their batting gloves and their shin pads and all that shit just does not have the dog in him, I'm sorry. You also earn dog in him for getting hit by pitches and sacrifice bunting, which are two things we do not see nearly often enough because of these fucking sabermetric nerds. So if you get hit by pitches, if you're laying bunts down, you have a lot of dog in him. There's another modifier for players that incited a benches clearing event in the last year, and one last bonus for players that hit without batting gloves, which is honestly the biggest dog in him move you can make. Finally, if you have the dog in you, you play every game no matter how injured you are or how bad you are at baseball, so there's a big adjustment for games played. There's no defensive element to dog in him because, let's be real, defensive metrics are a social construct. Nobody knows how good anybody is at defense, just watch them play, and if they do cool stuff, they're good defenders. So let's see the dog in him leaderboards for 2022. The top 10 starts with Tommy Edman and Mark Canha, two guys that absolutely have the dog in him based on the eye test, so we know the metric is working. Up next we have Tyro Estrada, Wilmer Flores, and Charlie Blackmon, all guys that hit really well in the clutch. Fifth is Kyle Tucker, who gets a big bonus for not wearing batting gloves, and Trent Grisham, who also doesn't wear batting gloves and is one of the best bunters in the league, is third. Tony Kemp in fourth is an obvious inclusion. And then in second is Francisco Lindor, who gets a big bonus for getting hit in the head by a pitch and starting a benches clearing brawl last year. Well, really it was more of a shoving match, but it all counts the same for the metric. In first place by a landslide, though, is Andres Jimenez, who gets hit by pitches a bunch, has a great clutch rating, basically never strikes out, and also works really quickly in the box. So there you have it, the players with the most dog in them in 2022. Of course, you have to be curious about the players with the least dog in them, so the bottom 5 in 2022 were JD Martinez, Carlos Correa, MJ Melendez, Yandy Diaz, and all the way at the bottom, is poor Ian Happ, who just cannot hit in the clutch. But that's just the base version of Dawg in him that describes the previous season. We want to know a player's expected Dawg in him, so how do we calculate that? Well, if we've learned anything from XFIP, the secret to making an expected stat is to just normalize a random input of the metric to league average. I'm serious, that's actually just how XFIP is calculated. So let's just say to calculate X Dawg in him, we add a modifier that measures the difference between a hitter's batting average on balls in play and the league average BABIP, which was 290 last year. So when we add this modifier to create X Dawg in him, we can see Trent Grisham jump to the top of the leaderboard because his BABIP was so much lower than league average in 2022. That and, of course, the fact he doesn't wear batting gloves. Carlos Santana also jumps in the top 3 for a similar reason. So there you have it, the league leaders in Dawg in him, and their expected rate in 2022. I honestly think the metric lines up to what you would expect just by watching these players with the eye test, which, as we all know, is the most objective way to see if your metric is accurate, so we can definitively say this experiment was a success. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to double tap the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you next year.